Okay, what's up guys? How are you? Good to see you again. So we've got a few here today, this morning, here in beautiful Friday, week 3, accountability. Let me know in the little chat box that you can see and you can hear me. Good to catch up again. I have got a massive kind of value bomb presentation here for you again. I've got a heap of questions that were sent in over the week. I like to collect them up, bank them up, and talk about them this week. And if you've got anything at all, because this is live and you've shown up, you're ready to do this, let's have a chat as well. So put any questions or anything that you've got in the little box below. Everyone can see me, everyone can hear me. And yeah, I'm quite excited to dive in and get into it. So first of all, I think we probably do have Jimmy on the call right now. I'm going to click over and get my, my stuff going on. Jimmy sent me a little email because I sent an email out about Jimmy, and he said, hey, what's up? Looking forward to a great event in Vegas. Funny story is I actually bumped into Jimmy quite randomly at an ice cream place down the street right here. Literally just bumped into each other. It was really cool to see Jimmy there. And a little update on him. He took over the AdWords account. Big congrats. He's just taken over the AdWords account for a multi-million-dollar business. And he's 4 times their conversions off a search campaign in 2 weeks. Congratulations, Jimmy. And he also said that he's responsible, or he got an email from them saying he's responsible for 40% of their online contracts this month. So he's absolutely dominating. And one of the tips that he said in his email, which is really interesting and why I wanted to bring it up, is he said that he found that narrowing down has helped his business so much, okay? So and he said it here, he said, everyone knows someone that does internet marketing. Hey, I do online marketing, I do traffic, whatever. But his name is starting to get mentioned around when people are after AdWords or Google advertising specifically. So he's kind of focused down on one thing, AdWords. And he's also saying the community's been fantastic, already made some really good mates out of the group. Hope to continue to grow the network in Vegas, which you will do. And I'm excited to see you in Vegas as well. So I just want to, I wanted to give a shout out there and talk a little bit about that. I actually have a consulting call with Sanjay, who's another Aussie. All these Aussies, he won the SSM Accountability Challenge, and I've got a call with him after this call, actually, a one-on-one accountability call. But I was thinking about all the questions that I got this week and also the stuff that I've been building out in my own business. And one of the themes that has come up, especially here in week 3, as people are starting to sending out hit lists, starting traffic, doing a lot of these things. One of the biggest, I guess, problems that I see that you're having and problems that I see across almost every single site. And it doesn't just mean the 10K Blitz group, and it doesn't just mean the SSM group as a whole. It actually means like most websites, like 99% of them that I see out there have this one problem. And not just the websites, the ads have this problem, the websites have this problem, and almost like the value proposition of the business has this problem. And that problem is very simple to solve, okay? And I'm going to show you a few tools and a few things to solve it. The problem is actually around clarity, okay? Clarity, big word, especially if you're in online marketing. What's really, really important is that your value proposition, what you're claiming to do with your business or what you are doing with your business, it's very clear, okay? The value proposition is clear. Also, the headline and the writing is clear. Like, there should be no thought happening. When someone lands on your site, it's like instant. Oh, I know what they do, and I know whether this is valuable for me or not. Or they see an ad. Oh, it's like extremely clear. And that communication not only happens visually, like with the on-page, like having everything kind of very clear and easy to see. It also happens kind of, communication-wise based on like, the actual sales copy as well. That really needs to be clear too. So last week I actually posted about one of the tools I use to do this, and I'm going to show you that tool as well live on this call. So clarity, extremely, extremely, extremely important. And even like Andre is saying, yeah, it's something I noticed about when I did competitor analysis is that it's extremely clear, okay? Everything seems to just be really clear and really just really easy to understand, and it just hits straight away. So that's what I want you to do. I want you to help you do that. And this will help you craft your emails to your 100 hit list. It'll help you craft your headlines. It'll help you craft, you know, across the board. So I'm going to pull out an example because this guy who's coming to Vegas, Clay, actually emailed me in. Clay Holiday, what's up, man? One of our members. And he sent in, let me just bring up what he actually said. First of all, he said he believes the site that he's promoting needs to be an e-commerce store. This was posted in our group. Can you tell me the best way to build it build it with Spotify or WordPress? It's actually Shopify, or pay someone, whatever's easiest and fastest. He's a little behind. And then he also said, and this is interesting, he also sent through a question saying when you want to quit, okay? And he said the problem he's having, he's building a site, but he believes it's more because he has no passion for either the two ideas that he's built at this point. He's got a ticket to Vegas, but he really feels like quitting. Open to any ideas that might help him not quit at this time. Okay, and that's understandable too when you're first starting out and you're trying out these ideas and you're building these landing pages. I think this is also another problem with clarity as well, all right? So clarity just doesn't equal like having a clear ad or having a clear headline. It actually is clarity around, you know, yourself and what you're doing and what you're selling and what you're offering, and being clear that that is actually valuable to a particular market, all right? So, yeah, especially in these early stages, all right, with the 10K Blitz, it's hard to have that sort of clarity, especially when you haven't had your first sale yet. And it sounds like, Clay, you're a little bit torn between a couple of different ideas, and we sort of just need to focus on one and give that time to prove itself or not, and then move on from there. So a little bit torn, a little bit unclear on all levels. So what I wanted to do was bring up one of your websites, Clay, and or one that I found anyway, and actually talk a bit about this whole clarity thing and how it works. Does this sound like a cool discussion that we could have, guys, here in the week 3 accountability? I feel like it's pretty valuable and pretty important for us all. Okay, so let me just switch over here and go to the screenshot. Okay, screen share, sorry. Let's go for this one. Okay, cool. I'm here on one of Clay's websites, all right? Now, immediately, clarity, in terms of clarity, and again, like we should be looking at, if we go through the 10K Blitz correctly, we will actually be looking at, you know, one of the components was to get 10 competitors and really analyze those competitors. So what this may involve for you is going back and actually looking at your competitors and analyzing them for clarity. So here's how to do that. Now, for a start, this URL, 24-7 traffics, and traffic with an X, it's not really hitting me on a clarity standpoint. Like, for example, and I'm pretty sure I discussed this in SSM, like if we're to go and picture yourself like handing over your business card, or picture yourself, for example, and this is great around clarity for your business and your unique value proposition, whatever it is that you're doing. Picture yourself going to like a bar, okay, like any bar or pub, we call them in Australia, and you sit down. This is actually one of John Carlton's old marketing copywriting tactics, and John Carlton's a big copywriter. So you picture yourself, you sit down at the bar, and you're there by yourself, you order a drink from the bartender, and there's a guy at the bar as well, a couple of seats over, And he says to the bartender's like, "Oh, what's wrong, man? You look like you're having a rough day." And the guy looks up at him and says, "Yeah, I'm having real problems with," and then what you picture is him saying what his problem is, okay, and that relating to your business. So, for example, he's sitting there at the bar and he's like, for example, in Clay's case, he's saying, "Oh, bartender, I'm having real problems with my traffic. I just can't get enough traffic to my website in order to sell my stuff." And the bartender's like, "Oh, that's rough." And then your job, being a traffic expert or being someone that can grow this guy's traffic, you say to the guy, "Hey, man, I just overheard you there. You're having some problems with your traffic." And the guy kind of looks up and says, "Yeah, how can you help?" And that's how the conversation starts. Now, an age-old rule is that your website simply replaces that conversation. All right, your website just replaces, is like a virtual person knocking at that person's door. They open the door and you're there to kind of chat to them about how you can help solve their problem. Okay, so immediately what I'm seeing here, okay, in a roundabout way, and that visualization is really good because your website needs to have that kind of, and the most clear or the most clarity-based websites are having that conversation with the person, okay, as they land on it, all right? So that's just a bit of a backstory and a good little exercise that you can go through is that sitting down at the bar conversation. But yeah, so this URL, I'm not liking it. And I'm not liking it because of clarity. If I was sitting at that barroom conversation and the guy's like, and we have the discussion, he's like, "Oh, all right, well, what's your website? I'll write it down." And you're there and you go, "It's 24-7 traffic with an X." That's just, that conversation's over. He's not going to be able to remember it, write it down, nothing at all. I see where you're going with it, 24/7 traffic and X with make it a little bit cool or whatever. But it's just not going to fly. So we might need to look at a different URL there. But it's a good example. It's a good example of something that we can improve on. Next thing, okay, let's talk about visual clarity. Now, here what we've got is this red, image in the background, okay? The kind of it's kind of hurts my eyes, to be honest. It's not it doesn't contrast very well with the white. You can still read it, but my eyes don't want to read it, okay? Because the contrast and the actual color, that burning red, is kind of just it's annoying my eyes. And it's also different to this blue here. So you've got blues, you've got reds, you've got a red here for it's too fiery. It's just hurting my eyes, okay? So what I would prefer is if you maybe did just a straight dark gradient background, and I'll show you some examples. We're gonna get into examples too. But in terms of clarity, it's just really killing my eyes here. So there's that, okay? That's the other thing. Now, the most important stuff on any website, obviously, as you know, you've been through 10K Blitz, is this above the fold section, okay? This is where you either capture their attention and you give them, it's like that barroom conversation, right? You're like, "Hey, I just overheard you've got problems with traffic on your website." This is where you capture them and give them that value proposition and get them to click that call to action, all right? This is the most important part here. The rest of it's not too bad. At least there's the contrast. So see here, that's a lot easier to read. Okay, this is a lot easier to read because the contrast it's just really simple. Okay, so this is just a bit too tough to read. So we need to look at a couple of things here. So for visual clarity, I would get rid of this image and just have something quite simple. Then we need to work on your headline, okay, and what it is that you're actually offering here and being clear about that. So quality traffic that will grow your sales and audience. Okay, so let's take this for example. All right, and last week, I don't know whether everyone saw this, but there's this website here, and I hope you can see it on the screen. I'll just check in that you can follow me here. Yeah, cool. Everyone's talking. Everyone knows what we're doing. So this Hemingway app, okay, if you go to www.hemingwayapp.com, this is kind of like my secret weapon here, and you're getting it too. But what it does is it measures, I don't know what sort of algorithm it uses, but it's brilliant. It measures your writing in terms of grade level. And what you really want is you want literally a 8-year-old to be able to read and understand what's going on with your copy. Now, one of the biggest mistakes you can make in the early days of your business is trying to be too fancy, using big words, trying to overcompensate by being a beginner, by trying to be this smart know-all expert using big words, okay? That's kind of the biggest thing that kills clarity, all right? So that's one thing to be aware of and one thing to note. Even maybe write it down. Where am I trying to be the smart know-all expert to overcompensate for being a beginner, okay? That's something to really be aware of. It's one of the most common mistakes I see. And you can kind of see it in your headline, okay? Now, if we copy it over, so quality traffic that will grow your sales and audience. Let's have a look here. It's not too bad. It's at a grade 7, okay? So you might have even put it through this Hemingway. I'm not sure. You might have seen it. And let's have a look at just a couple of your other little pieces of copy. Let's just maybe get it in here like that. Okay, cool. That one needs some work. Let's have a look at this one. Cool. That one needs some work. All right. So it actually lights up and it shows you where things need a little bit of work. This one's not too bad. Cool. So let's start by analyzing your copy here. And what I like to do, this is how I use my workflow, is I actually like to just copy everything in here and go through it piece by piece. And whenever I go to write copy, I actually write it inside Hemingway as well. I used to use Google Docs, and I used to use just Notepad to write my copy. Now I just go straight in and make sure it's all good in Hemingway. So let's have a look at this, for example. Okay, quality traffic that will grow your sales and audience. Not too bad, okay? Not too bad. It's still a little bit vague. It's a little bit vague to me. So quality traffic, well, what does that mean? Quality traffic that will grow your sales and audience. Okay, so clarity immediately goes down because you're focusing on two things. What do we want to grow here? Do we want to grow sales or do we want to grow our audience? Okay, so there should be, and this is, I actually want to bring this up too. There's a book here, Great Leads by Michael Masterson. This is one of my copywriting Bibles, by the way. Really, really great book. Great Leads, the 6 easiest ways to start any sales message. All right. So I highly recommend you get a hold of this book, but I'm going to teach you the first lesson in this book here anyway. The first lesson is that your business, your value proposition, and your message, and we spoke about message a little bit last week, needs one big thing. Okay, so only one. You need to focus anything that you do, okay, in any sales message at all, needs to focus on one big thing. And it's also David Ogilvy's big secret. David Ogilvy was the biggest copywriting. He started the advertising agency Ogilvy from scratch, from nothing, and now it's worth, I don't know, ridiculous. But in his book, Confessions of an Advertising Man, which is also really fun, really good read, he talks about the big idea. That's what he calls it. Big idea marketing. Okay, let's have a look here. Lessons from David Ogilvy. Okay, let's just have a look at this one. I just want to get his quote. Actually, he has it. It's there in an image, which would probably be better. Let's have a look here. So, it takes a big idea to attract the attention of consumers and get them to buy your product. Unless your advertising contains a big idea, and I'm going to go further and say just one big idea, it will pass like a ship in the night. I doubt if more than one campaign in 100 contains a big idea. All right, so that is so important. Okay, big idea. Let's have a look here. What's the big idea? Yeah, so here he's got some questions here. Did it make me gasp when I first saw it? Do I wish I had thought of it myself? Is it unique? Okay, so again, he was a big copywriter, a big ad agency guy, but what's really important is that we focus on one big idea or one big thing or one kind of, there's also a name for it, one like magic bullet to the customer. Like, you know, what's the one magical thing, okay, that you can do? So quality traffic that will grow your sales and audience, we need to just focus on one here. So that's immediately, we're going to start cleaning this up and getting some clarity around that. And I'm going to show you a good example about that. Here, next one, find out how you can engage your audience with quality traffic today. Now that to me sounds like the most vague throwaway line ever. and you know, I'm harsh on copywriting because for me, it's either money in the bank or it's not. And that all depends on these words. Okay. So, what I would advise with this sort of stuff, if you're looking for traffic, is to go back, or sorry, not if you're looking for traffic, if you're looking for hints to better sub-headlines and headlines and even this copy, okay, you need to really look at what your competitors are doing and the successful competitors, all right? That's the best way to get the hints. And then using rules like only having one big thing, using Hemingway to kind of clean up your copy is going to be really, really important. So if we're to do it live here and I'm to find a competitor with you, and this is who you're competing against, let's have a look at guys like QuickSprout. And this is Neil Patel, who we actually had speak in Las Vegas last year. And if we have a look, we land here, look at the visual clarity, okay, around this site, all right? So you might want to replace, okay, this red of doom, the sun setting, with something nice and clean and clear. Like, see this image in the background? It's just like a nice, clean, clear image. It just works, okay? Because the contrast between the text and the background, it just pops out, okay? So grow your website traffic, all right? Cool. Another one Neil Patel does, okay, on his actual site is, if we go to neilpatel.com, here's another one. Do you want more traffic? Okay. And let's copy his subheadline and yours, all right, and let's look at them together. And this is what competitor analysis is all about. All right, so let's just copy that. Which do you think is more clear? All right. Do you want more traffic? Question mark. Or quality traffic that will grow your sales and audience. Okay, obviously it's this one, right? It's one big idea, more traffic. Okay, and he's even highlighted the one big idea, more traffic. And then, okay, remember how I talked about the barroom conversation? All right. Hey, I'm Neil Patel. I'm determined to make your business. And here he's using, Narre Warren is somewhere close to Melbourne. So he's using some fancy tool there, which you don't need, okay? But he's using that to pull the location of wherever the internet connection is coming from. So it could just be like Melbourne, for example. My only question is, will it be yours? And then he's got a little bit of a fancy thing happening here where you can put your URL in and stuff like that. You don't need that. QuickSprout has this though. It has the same as what our Trigger Blitz theme has. And it's got the process down here, okay? And look at how clear this is, all right? It has visual clarity with the actual images, and it has these three here also are really clear as well as to what is going to be happening here and what they're actually going to be doing with this. So you can have that here, right? Now, these images versus these images, okay, can you see the difference? All right, this, like, why are we choosing an image of this girl flapping a rainbow blanket on the beach? What does that have to do with traffic? We're getting very, we're getting a little bit too, what would the word be? Abstract. Okay, that's the word. We're getting a little bit too abstract with that. And also even this, like these just look stock standard, all right? Now we need to be better. This is a big thing. We need to be better because if you're going to go after traffic, all right, and you're going to be a traffic guy, you're going to need to compete with the best traffic guys. And this is another big thing too. Now, years and years and years ago, I went to learn piano, okay? And the reason why I wanted to do it is because I was a DJ at the time and I wanted to make my own music. And I rocked up to piano lessons thinking, oh, this guy's going to teach me a few different chords and I'm going to go away and then I'm going to be good to just, you know, like make amazing music, all right? And the first thing he told me was, because he could kind of tell I'm just trying to learn and whatever. The first thing he told me, this piano guy, and he was an old dude, you could tell he taught a lot of people and he was kind of like a bit of a boss. And anyway, the first thing he told me was this. He said, so, like, why are you here learning piano? And I said, oh, I just want to learn a few chords to make a bit of music. And he's like, well, you probably shouldn't be here, to be honest. And I'm like, what? Are you serious? I'm paying you to be here. And he said, why do it? Why even attempt this thing, which is hard and takes a fair bit to learn, if you're not going to be the best at it, all right? If you're not going to be the best at it. And it really resonated with me. I was like, yeah, that makes sense. Like, why spend the time here, okay? Why spend the time building a freedom business that's just going to be on that mediocre level, all right? Now, let me switch over to me for a second. We're going to get back to me, all right? So, very interesting is that, you know, why you've chosen an industry, you've chosen a market, you've chosen somewhere to go into in your freedom business, and that's great, okay? And a natural tendency, especially when you're just starting 10K Blitz, very new business, a natural tendency is to just kind of dip your toe in the water and kind of like, hey, I just want a few sales so I can run away and be free, all right? And kind of like sell from your heels a little bit, kind of like, hey, I grow traffic, all I want is 2 or 3 clients and then I'm going to run away and be free, all right? That's not going to attract clients at all that you need, all right? What is going to attract clients is if you kind of put your flag in the ground and you say, hey, Neil Patel's over here, he's got years of experience, he's amazing at traffic, he does all this stuff, but that's cool. I'm going to be the best at it. And I don't care whether, you know, you're just starting out and you actually might not know much about traffic, but at least put your flag in the ground and say, hey, if I get clients in the traffic stuff, and, you know, granted, if you're going into traffic, you're going to have to at least do a bit of research and a bit of like, you know, you learn about traffic in 10K Blitz, obviously, but you're going to need like just a little bit of, you know, extra work in there and research to know, you know, some stuff about it, right? You're at least going to put the flag in the ground and say, any client that comes through my door and comes with me and wants to grow their traffic, I'm going to do anything or everything it takes to make sure that that my product smashes it for them. Whatever it is that I'm selling, whatever it looks like. And again, I'm not really that clear on what it is that you're selling on this page at all. There's no clarity around what the offer is. Yeah, it's like whoever I get, you know, at least if I'm not like that great at it, I'll find a way. Or like the client will present me with their problems, okay, and I will go out and I will research and I'll go to the ends of the earth because they don't have the time. They're paying me to take that time to go and find out and figure out the solutions. That's what it's all about, especially in the early days of your business. And this is how every business started. Someone, right, like got really bold and said, yeah, cool, I'll help you with that. And they got paid. And then they went out and figured out the solution. The amount of times I've had to go and just figure out the solution. And that's what I'm getting paid to do. You're getting paid to figure out the solution. You're getting paid to help. That's really, really, really key. So, yeah, hey, Jimmy, good to see you, man. Everyone's here. So you're kind of understanding that clarity. And the first tool, I'll switch back to the screen here. I'll switch back to And this, you need to clean up your copy. So at 24/7 Traffics, well, we're going to change that name for a start. We're experts in delivering quality web traffic. Okay, and then immediately what you want to think is like, okay, quality web traffic. What does that mean? Where does that come from? Like, what sort of traffic are we talking about here? Are we talking about paid traffic? Are we talking about free traffic? Are we talking about SEO? Like, none of this is clear, okay? Our team works diligently to ensure, that probably should be ensure, that you get quick and accurate response for your web traffic needs closely. Okay, so immediately it's picking up that we don't really need this word, okay? And that's already cleaned up that sentence and made it easier to read. Our team works to ensure that you get a quick and accurate response. Like, does someone want, all right, so this is, it's almost fluff talk. That's what it is, if we're being real, okay? Our team works to ensure that you get quick and accurate response, for your web traffic needs closely. Okay, so, I don't, and again, that word needs to go. Our team works to ensure that you get a quick and accurate response to your web traffic needs. I'm guessing that's what it needs to say. Again, like, would you say that if you're in the bar and you're talking to someone and he's like, says to the bar guy, and he's like, yeah, you know, I'm really struggling to get traffic. And you go, hey, where are you struggling with that traffic? Okay. Not any part of that conversation is going to sound like that. You're not going to say to the guy in a conversation, our team works to ensure that you get a quick and accurate response to your web traffic. You're not going to say that. All right. And then, you know, you go over to a guy like QuickSprout, and would he say this? Okay, grow your website traffic. Cool. There are important changes on your website that will grow your traffic. I can see myself saying that in person. And then we help you make those changes. All right. So here's where he's getting attention. Here's where he gets like an age-old copywriting formula. Okay. If you want to check it out and you want to go a bit more in depth, is AIDA copywriting. Okay. And AIDA, all right, is, and believe it or not, this is actually a Neil Patel site, funnily enough. AIDA is attention, interest, desire, action. All right. So when we have a look at his page, he's basically following this formula. Attention. All right. That'll get the attention of anyone that wants to actually do that. Interest. This is his line. There are important changes on your website that will grow your traffic. Okay. That's interest. Okay. What are those changes? All right. QuickSprout tells you how to make those changes. There's the desire. Okay. And here's the action. All right. So he's followed that exact formula. AIDA. Attention, interest, desire, action. All right. Cool. You got that? So if we have a look here at yours, we could say, instead, are you looking to increase your website traffic? Okay. And that's our attention. Okay. And it would get our attention if we are looking to do that. What's a good interest line? Interest. Okay. Are you looking to increase your website traffic? All right. There's 3 important things to know on when driving high quality traffic in 2017. All right. That indicates a bit of desire. What's the 3 things? Okay. Attention, interest, desire. Okay. Let me show you now for free. Desire. Okay. Cool. Action. Enter your email and I'll send you the 3 keys to traffic. All right, now we've bolded all this, which probably shouldn't be. But anyway, you can see what I mean. And now I take a lot longer to write copy, all right? This is just me off the cuff. But immediately we've got a lot more clarity around it. So interest, are you looking to increase your website traffic? Attention, interest. There's 3 important things to know when driving high quality traffic in 2017. Let me show you now for free. Enter your email and send you these 3 keys to traffic. That may or may not be something that you would use, but that's That's showing you how you can improve all this one thing we're talking about this week. And that is clarity, okay? So important, so crucial to your stuff. All right, cool. Next thing I want to cover and next thing I want to talk about, all right? There's actually two things here before we finish off that I want to show you around this clarity stuff. And yeah, make sure you post up if you've got any questions around this. It's really important. Yeah, put them in. But what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to do this exercise that I've got around clarity. And that is, actually, first let me show you the other cool thing I've got for you, and then we'll do the exercise and then we'll wrap it up. So I'm here now, I've got this special report here by Blair Warren, and this is kind of famous around the circles, copywriting circles. It's called the One Sentence Persuasion course, and you can actually follow, or just Google One Sentence Persuasion, and you'll be able to get to this PDF. And this is one of the things that I do as well. It was given to me by a good mate, Seb, who's an SSM member. He joined up in SSM 1, I think it was, or 2. He's actually a close mate now. He's absolutely smashing it in his freedom business. He gave me this, and this is called the One Sentence Persuasion course. And basically what it says is, and if you go down, like, it's probably best that you read it first. But the one sentence is this, okay? Let's read this. People will do anything for those who encourage their dreams, justify their failures, allay their fears, confirm their suspicions, and help them throw rocks at their enemies. All right, I'll read that again. People will do anything for those who encourage their dreams, justify their failures, allay their fears, confirm their suspicions, and help them throw rocks at their enemies. And they're listed out here. Now, this is all about persuasion, but of course, in copywriting, we want to use persuasion, all right? So I like to, when I'm writing headlines and I'm writing copy or I'm writing ads, I actually like to grab all of these and I write a headline for each of them, okay? And I test my headlines based on each of these, okay? So for example, if we're going for the traffic example here, okay, encourage their dreams, all right? What would encourage the dreams of someone who wants more traffic? All right, that's pretty simple. We've already sort of nailed that one. Are you looking to increase your website traffic? Yeah, that's a good one. Or want to grow your sales by 247% using one little tactic. That's sort of like encouraging the dreams, right? Justifying their failures. This is another big one, okay? So a headline for that, okay, and again, I'm just going off the cuff here, so don't expect, you know, T-Mark 2000 style copy that normally takes me 4 days to write. Let me just go, what are we going for? Actually, I'll copy this in just so we can, if I can, copy this in to Hemingway. Yeah, here we go, cool. Encourage their dreams, justify their failures. Oops, okay. Confirm their suspicions, help them throw rocks at their enemies. Okay, cool. So encourage their dreams. Okay, this one we've already sort of done. It's like, you know, want to boost traffic by 147% so you can make more sales. All right, there's one. That encourages dreams. Justify failures. Okay, here's a good headline. Everything you've been told about traffic is wrong. Okay, or like you've been lied to. Oh, that's more about confirm their suspicions, actually. I'll put that one there. Growing website traffic, you've been lied to. Okay, that confirms their suspicions. All right, that's a confirm their suspicions thing. All right, everything you've been told about traffic is wrong and it's not your fault. Okay, can you see that being a pretty cool like ad like copy, you know what I mean? If you saw a Facebook ad that said that, everything you've been told about traffic is wrong, ... and it's not your fault, that's some serious attention interest right there. That hits the AI, okay, pretty strongly. Cool, so allay their fears, all right? So what fears would some people have about traffic, all right? That it's too confusing, all right? So are you confused about website traffic? Let me show you the 3 easiest ways to boost traffic. All right, so there we go. Allay their fears. That's an allay their fears headline. All right, confirm their suspicions. We've done. Help them throw rocks at enemies. Okay, so what would their enemies be? Okay, their enemies would be their competition. All right, is your competition getting more traffic? Here's how I can help you blow them away. All right, cool. So can you see how valuable that is actually? Okay, we've just knocked out, you know, what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different headline angles, all right, and all different styles of angles. And you can actually use that in your, like for your Facebook ads or your actual headline on your page or whatever. And that's the 1 sentence persuasion, all right? So download the report. It's actually a pretty cool report in general. Encourage their dreams, justify their failures. People will, and it's a good thing to remember anyway, actually, just as you're going through, and remember, maybe if you're going into a meeting that you're meeting a new client or something like that, people will do anything for those who encourage their dreams, justify their failures, allay their fears, confirm their suspicions, and help them throw rocks at their enemies. It's quite a big thing to learn. People will do anything, including buy whatever it is that you're offering, all right? So very cool, very, very, very powerful, very, very, very rad. So here's the exercise that I have for you to finish things off. I've created this spreadsheet here, okay? 10K Blitz, clarity, focus. This is for week 3. Accountability, clarity, very important. So there's 2 boxes here, all right? And in order to get clarity around what it is you're offering, like Clay here, all right, you need to fill this out. So what problems are your market having right now? This is really, really, really crucial, all right? So what you might want to do is you might want to put in here, you know, you could put in the different 1-sentence persuasion categories in terms of problems. But what's really important is that you define these problems, okay? So what problems are your market having right now? Okay, one of them was confused about traffic, okay? Maybe they don't know where to start, okay? Maybe they need, if they're a bit further down in their traffic, they need to lower their cost per click. All right, cool. So I want you to list at least, you know, 5 to 10 problems that your market is having right now. And how do you find it if you're just starting out? Go and look at some blogs, okay? Like, for example, Neil Patel's blog on traffic. Let's click on it. All right. What are some of the articles here? It's because he researches his articles, all right? Why you're spending too much on Facebook ads and how to change it. Brilliant. Okay, there we go. Spending too much on Facebook ads, that's a problem. Okay, there, I found that in 2 seconds, what problems the market is having right now. Okay, what are some solutions to these problems? All right, this is where you research the solutions. All right, confused about traffic, you could do a PDF guide on simplifying, demystifying traffic, okay? There's a good solution, all right, and a good lead magnet that you could offer right here, okay? Next one, don't know where to start. Same thing, all right? Some sort of guide or information on starting with traffic. Okay, cool. Need to lower their cost per click. All right, sweet. Let's maybe a case study on how you lowered CPC. All right, that's a good one. even find like good articles like Neil's, and you know, he's obviously got his stuff here on how he did it. See, cost per click. Neil's got some great stuff there that you could swagger jack. There we go. Cool. Spending too much on Facebook ads, same thing. All right. Case study on how you lowered spend. Okay, so all of these things here, all right, why this is important is because this is like the problems that you're having right now. These solutions, these can equal, you know, these can equal products, new products that you offer. You know, these can equal consulting. These can equal lead magnets. You know, these things that you can put in here and say, okay, click here to get the free PDF or the free video or something like that. All right. Because again, this is what your market is looking for. This is how to get clarity. This is what to do. And I'm going to share this spreadsheet with you in the group as well, so that you can literally spend 5-10 minutes to do this and get clarity. All right, get clarity around what you're selling. All right, get clarity around what you're actually going to do with your headlines and everything, which we've covered here today. You might want to actually rewatch this video. So I'm going to include all these links. I'll put Hemingway. I'll put the link to this, what is it? The one sentence persuasion and all that stuff. But I think it was really important to go through these things because we also had Sam. What's up, Sam? If you're on the call, Sam was actually asking like, hey, what's the stuff that I can offer in my, you know, free consultation or free logo or whatever it was? Okay. This is how you answer that question. All right. New lead magnets come out of doing this little exercise. All right, sweet. Very, very cool. Let me jump back to you guys and let me. All right, cool. This honestly has been the most valuable webinar I've seen. Yeah, that's awesome, man. Great. I love bringing this stuff to you. I mean, this is how I do it. This is how it gets done. So, you know, I always want to give the good stuff. Stephen, if I'm selling web design and the big idea is that I'll give a customer a website with a video background, would I need to redo my MVP website to a website with a video background to properly clarify the idea for the customer? I would have to use a different template instead of the Trigger Blitz. If that is your big idea and that's the big thing that you're selling, then I would say yes. It's important to sort of clarify what it is that you're selling. Or what you could do is you could use the Trigger Blitz template, but also like click here to see an example, and maybe that can go to an example site. All right, if that is what you're selling, the video background website, then yeah, that's what I would go with. Can we talk more about the section right below the fold? Sure. Let me just do that really quickly here. So glad that I decided not to go sleep but watch this. Nice, man. I'm glad you did too. Let's. All right, sorry guys. Hear me now? Think you can. Think we're good. Let's talk more about this bottom section. So if we look on my 30-day challenge, and this is what I've advised, and I've done this with other clients as well, that have seen it skyrocket, okay, really skyrocket. The below section, especially here, okay, these 3 points, they really need to focus on the 3 biggest problems or pain points that your customer is experiencing right now. Now, we went through that, okay? We went through the biggest problems. All right, so confused about traffic, don't know where to start, need to lower cost per click. So if I was doing the traffic clarity focus, I would have in these 3 sections, I would have something explaining those 3 biggest pain points. All right. So, you know, build your online business now. Okay. That's a pain point. People want to build an online business. With the traffic one, it's confused about traffic. So the feature benefit that I would have here is instead of we're the experts, I would have, okay, I would have, are you confused about traffic, or something like eliminate, like a headline, we eliminate all the confusion around driving traffic to your website. All right, bang, that's one feature. Need to know where to start. Okay, starting with traffic can be really daunting. We'll show you in 3 steps how to get started with your traffic. Okay, done. All right, need to lower cost per click. Do you need to, not do you need targeted traffic? Do you need to lower your cost? Well, that may be one, but do you need to lower your cost per click? We've helped customers lower their cost per click within a matter of minutes or something along those lines. So that's my below the fold section there. If you need help with this, just literally go back to your competitor analysis, or just come to pages like mine and see how we do it and see why we've got the different sections where we've got them. It's really important that you're looking at your competitors and you're saying to yourself, okay, cool. How am I being more as clear, or how can I be more clear with my competitors? And we just sort of ran through it here. Use the formulas like AIDA, which is what everyone uses. I mean, you can see it here on QuickSprout. AIDA, literally like followed to a T. And then download these reports and stuff. But yeah, guys, I'm sorry I can't spend more time with you here right now. Sorry, guys. I've got to jump off to do my consulting calls right now. But I think even this little section was absolutely smashed with some things that you can execute now to get the one thing, and that's clarity. All right. Let's clear it up. This week 3, it's all about clarity. What is your message? How can you make it more clear? How can you make it visually more clear? And yeah, use these little tools that I've shown you. Let's rewatch this and let's implement it, and let's talk about it next week on week 4's call. All right. Sweet, guys. Glad you enjoyed it. I loved it too. Already did some quick updates on my website. Bam, we nailed it this week. Love it, guys. All right, peace. Have a good day. You too, Lucas. We'll talk soon. Cheers, guys.